High-speed trains might seem simple to use, but these 15 mistakes can ruin your ride, get you fined, or even kicked off the train. So here's everything you need to avoid next time you board. 15. Standing near the doors while the train is in motion. It might seem harmless, leaning by the door, waiting for your stop, but on high-speed trains, that habit can quickly become a problem. The space near the doors isn't just where people enter and exit, it's also a safety zone that needs to stay clear, especially in emergencies. Train attendants and conductors will often ask passengers not to block this area, and in some countries there are even signs posted to warn against it. In Japan, for example, standing in front of the doors during travel is discouraged, not just for safety, but also out of respect for the flow of passengers. Besides, these areas are meant to be kept open so passengers boarding or getting off can move freely. Blocking them can delay departures, annoy fellow travelers, or worse, put you or someone else at risk during sudden stops. And while you might be tempted to grab that spot for a quick photo or because the aisle is full, it's not worth the trouble it might cause. If you're tired or waiting for your stop, it's better to find a place near the luggage rack or a designated standing zone if available. Keeping the door areas open makes the train ride smoother and safer for everyone, and it also shows you understand how the system works, something conductors and other passengers always appreciate. Number 14. Misusing luggage space. Everyone brings bags on board, but not everyone knows how to store them properly. High-speed trains usually have specific racks near the entrance or overhead compartments above the seats. These specific areas aren't just suggestions, they're designed to keep the cabin safe and organized. Tossing your bag in the middle of the aisle or squeezing it in front of your feet might seem like a shortcut, but it's actually a hassle for those walking by. It also blocks emergency paths, and in many countries, train staff won't hesitate to ask you to move it. In places like Germany or France, there are even rules about what kind of luggage can go where. Heavy suitcases often belong in the large racks at the end of each coach, not above your head. Smaller items like backpacks or tote bags are better kept in overhead storage or under your seat. It might seem like a small detail, but proper placement keeps everyone more comfortable, especially on longer journeys. And there's another reason to think twice about where you leave your bag: security. Bags left unattended or placed in unusual spots can raise concerns, and in some cases lead to delays if staff need to investigate. So if you want to avoid a public announcement calling for the owner of a black suitcase, it's better to store your items properly from the start. You'll have a more relaxing ride, and so will everyone else on board. 13. Forgetting to validate your ticket, Europe specific. This one catches a lot of people off guard, especially tourists. You bought your ticket, you showed up on time, and you're seated. Everything seems fine, but then the conductor arrives, scans your pass, and shakes their head. Why? You forgot one step: validating your ticket before boarding. In many European countries, simply purchasing a ticket doesn't make it valid for travel. You have to validate it, usually by stamping it at a small machine near the platform. This applies especially to paper tickets on regional and intercity trains. Systems like Trenitalia in Italy or NSCF in France require this extra step. If you skip it, even accidentally, you could face a fine that costs far more than the ride itself. And no, saying you didn't know doesn't always help. Conductors hear that excuse all the time. Validation tells the system, and the staff, when and where the ticket was first used. It's part of how they prevent reuse and fraud. So even if your train isn't packed, or no one seems to be checking, don't take the risk. If you're unsure, ask a station worker or look for other travelers. Those little machines with blinking lights and a slot, that's where you insert your ticket until it clicks and stamps. For mobile tickets, this usually doesn't apply, but read the fine print, because some countries now require app-based check-ins too. Doing it right only takes a second, but forgetting can cost you a whole lot more than just money. It can cost your peace of mind. Number 12. Booking the wrong carriage type. High-speed trains often offer multiple classes of travel, and each comes with its own set of expectations. There are quiet cars, business sections, family zones, and sometimes even women-only sections. Choosing the wrong carriage can turn your peaceful ride into an awkward experience, or worse, get you booted from your seat. For example, in quiet cars on German ice trips or Japan's Shinkansen, loud phone calls or music aren't just frowned upon, they're against the rules. Passengers expect silence, and staff are quick to remind anyone breaking the peace. If you accidentally sit in a reserved or premium section with a standard ticket, you won't just get dirty looks, you might get asked to leave immediately. It's also easy to confuse first class and second class seating if you're unfamiliar with the markings. Always check the digital signs before boarding and pay attention to the carriage number printed on your ticket. If you're booking online, make sure to read the seating options carefully. Some travelers think they've scored a bargain, only to find out they've booked a family section or a business quiet zone where certain behaviors are restricted. Pick the right seat and your journey will be as smooth as the tracks beneath you. Number 11. Leaving devices plugged in while away. High-speed trains are made for comfort, but not every carriage is the same. Sit in the wrong one and you might find yourself in a spot that's way too quiet or far too loud. Leaving devices plugged in while away. It sounds harmless, charging your phone or tablet while you grab a snack or step into the restroom, but on high-speed trains, leaving electronics unattended, especially while charging, can be seen as a safety concern. Train crews in countries like Japan and Germany are trained to unplug devices left behind. Why? Because overheating batteries and faulty chargers have caused problems in the past, including small fires and power outages. Even something as simple as your electric toothbrush or camera battery, if left unplugged while you're away, might be disconnected by staff. It's not about being difficult, it's about keeping everyone safe in a space where emergency response has to be fast and effective. There's also a practical side to this. If you leave your phone in an outlet and forget it when you disembark, it's probably gone. Trains move quickly between stations, and retrieving lost items can be tricky, especially on international routes. So what should you do instead? If you absolutely need to charge something, stay close. Use your seat's USB port if available, or a short extension that keeps your device in view. For long trips, a fully charged power bank is a smart alternative that lets you avoid onboard outlets altogether. High-speed trains are all about efficiency and timing. Small actions like these help you ensure that nothing gets in the way of your trip. Number 10. Leaving trash or food behind at your seat. You wouldn't leave garbage behind in someone's car, so why do it on a train? One of the most overlooked but frustrating mistakes passengers make is treating their seat like a personal bin. Wrappers, empty bottles, spilled snacks, tissues, it all adds up, especially on longer journeys with high passenger turnover. Train staff do their best to keep things clean between stops, but high-speed trains often have tight schedules with minimal time at stations. That means whatever you leave behind is what the next passenger sees, and maybe sits in. In countries like Japan or Switzerland, cleanliness on public transport is a shared expectation. Leaving trash behind isn't just messy, it's considered disrespectful. It reflects poorly not just on you, but on the people traveling from your region or country. And in some places, repeated offenses can lead to warnings or fines. Most trains have small trash bins at the end of each car, sometimes under the windows or next to restrooms. Use them. If you're unsure where to throw something, hold on to it until you can ask staff or find a bin at the next station. Carry a small bag for snack wrappers or tissues. It makes a big difference. Leaving your space clean isn't just about manners, it's about keeping the train comfortable and safe for everyone. When everyone does their part, the whole journey feels better. So the next time you're tempted to leave that coffee cup on the tray, don't. Take it with you. It's a small act with a big impact. Using phones on speaker or loud volume. Train rides are perfect for catching up on podcasts or chatting with a friend, but only if you do it the right way. On high-speed trains, one of the fastest ways to annoy your fellow passengers is by playing sound out loud. Whether it's music, a YouTube video, or a phone call on speaker, the noise carries through the cabin more than you might expect. In quiet cars, it's not just frowned upon, it's against the rules. In Japan's Shinkansen or Korea's KTX, passengers are expected to keep noise to a minimum. That includes phone calls. Conductors often walk the aisles, and if they hear loud audio or see someone on speaker, they'll politely ask them to stop. In some areas, you might even get an official warning. Even outside quiet zones, it's just good manners to use headphones. Keep the volume low enough that only you can hear it, and step into a vestibule area if you really need to take a call. Some trains even have designated spaces between cars where calls are allowed. Remember, people ride high-speed trains to relax, work, or nap. Your playlist, even if it's a good one, wasn't part of their travel plans. Keeping your audio to yourself shows respect for the shared space, and it helps everyone, including you, enjoy the journey without distractions. Sitting in reserved seats without a booking. The train car is half empty, and you spot a comfortable window seat. Nobody's sitting there, so you slide in, thinking it won't hurt. But 5 minutes later, someone taps your shoulder with a ticket in hand, and now you're scrambling. Sitting in a reserved seat without a matching reservation is one of the most common mistakes people make on high-speed trains, especially when the train looks empty. In many systems, especially across Europe and Asia, seat reservations are either required or strongly recommended. Even on trains that allow unreserved seating, certain areas or entire cars might be reserved for passengers who pay extra for guaranteed spots. If you take one of these without permission, staff can ask you to move at any time, even if the train is nearly empty. It's not just about convenience. Reserved seating helps manage boarding, especially on routes with multiple stops. When you're sitting in someone else's place, it slows down everything and causes unnecessary tension. To avoid the awkward shuffle or a potential fine, always double-check your ticket. Look for the car number and seat assignment, which are usually printed clearly. If you didn't book a seat and you're on a train that allows open seating, stay within the unreserved section. Still unsure? Ask a conductor or station staff before boarding. Being respectful of reservations shows you understand the system, and it helps the whole train run smoother. Eating messy and smelly foods. There's nothing like a good meal on a long trip, but what you eat and how you eat it can make a big difference in the train experience. High-speed trains often allow light snacks and drinks, especially on longer routes, but bringing a full meal that smells strong or is messy to handle, that's a mistake you want to avoid. Think about how enclosed a train car is. There's no ventilation like in a restaurant. When you open up a hot, spicy stew or unwrap a tuna sandwich, the smell doesn't just stay at your seat, it spreads. And once it's out, it lingers. Fellow passengers might not appreciate it, especially if they're trying to rest or focus. Foods that are greasy, crumbly, or loaded with sauces can also leave stains or attract unwanted attention from pests. Spilling a container of soup or dropping sticky items on the seat isn't just embarrassing, it can inconvenience others for the rest of the trip. Most high-speed trains have guidelines around food. Lighter options like packaged snacks, sandwiches, fruit, or bakery items are usually fine. Some even have cafes or snack bars on board for this reason. If you're unsure, consider what you'd be okay smelling if someone else were eating next to you. In short, be considerate, eat clean, keep it simple, and save the heavy meals for your destination. Using the restroom right before your stop. It happens more often than you'd think. Someone heads to the restroom just as the train begins to slow down and ends up missing their stop entirely. On high-speed trains, especially those on tight schedules, stops can be incredibly brief, sometimes less than 2 minutes. And if you're not ready when the doors open, the train won't wait. Going to the bathroom right before your station seems like a good use of time, but it's a risky one. Depending on the train's layout, the restrooms might be located far from your carriage. That walk alone could eat up precious seconds, and if the bathroom is occupied or if there's a line, you're already cutting it close. Some trains even automatically lock restroom doors during station approaches for safety. Others restrict movement between cars during arrival and departure to prevent crowding at exits. So even if you try to dash back to your seat, you may find yourself stuck until the next stop. The better move? Plan your bathroom breaks carefully. Check the estimated arrival time and make sure you're back at your seat, with your belongings packed, a few minutes before the stop. If you absolutely need to go, wait until you're sure you won't be disembarking soon. Missing your stop because of poor timing is frustrating, and it can cost you time, money, and a lot of confusion. A little planning goes a long way. Blocking the aisles with baby strollers or large bags. It's easy to underestimate how narrow a train aisle really is, until someone tries to squeeze by with coffee in one hand and a laptop bag in the other. Blocking that aisle, whether with a stroller, suitcase, or even your own legs stretched out, isn't just inconvenient. It can be a safety issue, especially on high-speed trains where movement happens fast and space is shared. Parents with young children often bring strollers, which is understandable, but not all train systems are equipped for wide or open spaces. Folding the stroller and storing it in the luggage area or behind designated seats is the norm. Leaving it open in the aisle, however, can block exits and slow down boarding. The same goes for oversized bags. Even if there's no space on the racks, the aisle isn't a fallback. In the event of an emergency, blocked walkways can delay evacuation and create chaos. And on a busy train, they make it harder for attendants to pass through with carts, for passengers to get to the restroom, or for someone in a hurry to reach the door before their stop. Most high-speed trains are designed with specific storage areas and signage to help guide you. If you're unsure, ask staff for the right spot. It's better to take a few extra seconds to do it properly than to have someone trip, or worse, a complaint filed against you. Ignoring platform markings while boarding. If you've ever missed your train door by a few meters and had to run alongside the carriage, you already know how important platform markings are. On high-speed trains, where boarding is swift and highly organized, every detail matters. Those symbols on the ground, numbers, lines, arrows, they're not decoration. They tell you exactly where to stand for your reserved carriage or class. In places like Japan or China, the train stops precisely at those markers, down to the centimeter. If you're waiting in the wrong spot, by the time you realize and rush to your correct door, the train might already be closing up. These trains don't wait. They arrive, board, and leave, all within a few minutes. Staff members often blow whistles or wave signs to keep the process tight. Showing up unprepared slows everyone down and creates confusion. Check your ticket, match your carriage number with the platform markings, and line up in advance. It makes boarding faster, smoother, and much less stressful. Especially when you're carrying bags or traveling with others, being at the right place from the start saves you from the mad dash and a whole lot of embarrassment. Bringing unauthorized pets or oversized animals. You love your pet, that's fair, but not all high-speed trains are pet-friendly, and even the ones that are come with strict guidelines. In Europe and Asia, most high-speed train services only allow small animals that can fit in approved carriers. Some routes require advance notice, special tickets, or proof of vaccinations. Bringing a dog in a stroller or carrying a cat in a backpack might feel normal to you, but for staff, that's a problem waiting to happen. Animals that are loose, too large, or too loud can disturb passengers, cause allergic reactions, or even trigger emergency policies. In countries like France, Japan, or China, unauthorized animals can lead to fines or being asked to leave the train at the next stop. Service animals are usually allowed but still need to follow procedures. The best thing you can do is check the rules for your specific train company before traveling. If your furry companion doesn't meet the requirements, find a reliable sitter or explore pet shipping services. A little planning now avoids a lot of stress later. After all, a calm train ride is better for both you and your pet, especially if it means you both reach your destination without a fuss. Carrying prohibited items. Trains may not be as strict as airplanes when it comes to baggage screening, but that doesn't mean anything goes. Many high-speed train systems, especially in China, Germany, and Spain, have clear lists of banned items. Things like pressurized gas canisters, large knives, and even powerful magnets are forbidden. And while bikes are sometimes allowed, they usually need to be folded, cased, or booked in advance. If not, you could be denied boarding on the spot. Fireworks, paint cans, or flammable sprays? Those are automatic no-goes. Even something as innocent as a hoverboard or a camping stove can land you in trouble. And yes, staff do random checks. If your luggage is flagged during boarding or by onboard staff, you may be removed from the train or asked to dispose of the item immediately. It's not worth the risk. Before packing, visit the rail company's website and review their banned items list. If you're unsure, leave it out. The rules are there for everyone's safety, and train companies don't bend them lightly. Avoid packing like you're going off-grid. Travel light, travel safe, and keep everything above board, literally and legally. Leaning on or forcing open automatic doors. Automatic doors on high-speed trains are sensitive. They're designed to open and close on command, often triggered by sensors or buttons, but forcing them, holding them open, or leaning against them can cause serious issues. In countries like Germany, France, and Japan, passengers have been fined or scolded for tampering with door functions, even accidentally. The sensors are calibrated for safety, and interfering with them can delay train departure or trigger an alert to onboard staff. Worse, it can cause a mechanical fault, which risks delaying everyone's journey. Some passengers, especially those unfamiliar with train systems, assume doors will stay open like elevators. They don't, and jamming your foot in the gap is a fast way to get attention, from the conductor, not in a good way. If you need to board or exit, wait for the proper signal or button. And never try to open a locked door between cars while the train is in motion. It's dangerous and often against the rules. Doors are there for function, not friction. Treat them like part of the train's brain. If they're acting up, let staff handle it. Don't try to outsmart the tech, you'll just slow everyone down and possibly get yourself removed. Showing up late or at the wrong station. High-speed trains don't operate on your schedule, they follow theirs, down to the second. One of the biggest mistakes travelers make is assuming they have a buffer. You don't. In countries like Japan, Switzerland, or China, a train scheduled for 11:13 will leave at 11:13, not 11:14. And if you're running down the platform hoping for a delay, you're out of luck. Even worse is going to the wrong station entirely. Cities like Paris, Tokyo, and Berlin have multiple major terminals. A train might leave from Paris Gare de Lyon, not Gare du Nord. Get it wrong and you could be 30 minutes across town with 5 minutes to spare. Game over. Once that train's gone, your ticket might not be valid for another trip. And high-speed tickets can be expensive to replace. Always check your ticket carefully. The station, the platform, the departure time. Use official apps to track live updates. Arrive at least 20 minutes early if possible, especially if it's your first time navigating that rail system. Missing a train isn't like missing a bus. There's no hop on the next one unless you want to pay again. Timing is everything. Respect it and the rails will treat you right. High-speed trains are one of the best ways to travel. Fast, smooth, and scenic. But they also run on tight systems, and small mistakes can turn into big problems. Now that you know what to avoid, you can board with confidence and enjoy the ride stress-free. Which mistake surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more smart travel tips every week.